we're going to talk about the best performance mods you can do to your bike for the money. The first thing first here, there's no reason to do any serious modifications to your motorcycle if you're not maintaining it properly. So that means you need to take care of everything that's here and working. That if you're going to modify your bike, you should be on a level to where you're taking care that your clutch is always perfect, you're changing your oil, you got fresh fluids in your brake fluid, your suspension is always fresh, good oil. If you're not doing all those things, then modifying your bike isn't going to help you a ton. The best bike for you is a brand new stock bike, right? Because everything's fresh and works well. So that goes without saying. The first thing you do if you're going to modify your bike is be committed to maintaining your bike well. Okay, so one of the first and easiest modifications to your bike is a two-stroke air filter cage. So you simply remove the cage that has a backfire screen and put in a two-stroke cage or a special cage that's designed to not run the backfire screen. That's a quick way to get a little more snap out of your bike for little to no cost. Cheap. The next easy mod is taking all the play out of your throttle. So you have hardly any play right here. This is going to help you feel like you're going faster just by having the throttle there quicker. That's one of the easiest, quickest ways to have you feel like you're doing a little better, and that's free. The next thing is feeling comfortable with your controls. If you're going to modify anything, make sure that you have the bars you like. We like a certain bend of bars. With our ODI bars, we like the Champ bend bars, and we like their ODI lock-on grips, their V2 lock-on grips. This feels good. If we were to modify the engine on this, I'd rather have this done well first, and then I'm all comfortable with all my controls first. Thanks for watching so far. If you're going to shop for a Rocky Mountain ATV for any new parts for your dirt bike, click on our link in the description below. So the next performance mod you should do is suspension. Because if you make the engine faster, if you're not happy with the suspension and it's not the best for you, then it's not going to do any good. We always say we'd rather ride a stock engine bike and good suspension. So, and like, you might be happy with your suspension, that's great. So then skip this part and just move on to modifying your engine, right? So you want to get your suspension done first. That's the best thing that's going to help you the best when it comes to riding your dirt bike. Next is ECU mapping. So each of your bikes has a computer brain in it. On many of the bikes, you can get the stock ECU remapped by different engine builders. Twisted Development does some. There's other engine builders that do. The newer KTM bikes have them locked out. There's a lot of bikes that are locked out, but there's some that can be mapped. So those are little things that can help you in performance mods for your bike. The next thing would be a slip-on muffler. With most of the bikes right now, the stock header is pretty dang good. So a slip-on muffler, especially on this Yamaha, the Kawasaki, gives it a lot better sound and feel when riding especially. Okay, so with 4-strokes, now that you've done all that stuff and you're happy with your suspension, your controls, everything, now it's choosing what to modify. You can do cams, high compression piston, cylinder, head porting all at the same time. That's what's done to this bike by Racetech. This bike's got all those same things done, but with the addition of a Cylinder Works big bore kit, a 270cc kit. So all those same modifications matched up with a Vortex ECU under the seat. We have a Vortex ECU, so does this one. And this bike over here is a 350 with a 366 kit in it and a Vortex mapped ECU. So we have lots of options. So when it gets into the best bang for your buck, sometimes if your bike has some hours on it and it's getting close to time for a piston anyway, a Cylinder Works big bore kit can be a good answer to get you that performance gain for a low cost. Okay, so now we shift over to 2-strokes. Now performance on 2-strokes is, I'd say, a little easier, of course. So simple first modifications is jetting. You can look at the Pro Circuit website, has good jetting specs. Those will help you out. So good jetting specs. If you have a trail bike, JD Jetting has some good jetting there as well. You can look at Electron Carb. So messing with jetting, carburation would be your main performance deals easily and quickly, right? And then of course, again, it goes without saying that we're assuming you have a fresh top end, fresh clutch. Those things are all fresh and good. So then the next would be a pipe and silencer. On a 2-stroke, that does seem to make a bigger difference than on some of the 4-stroke models, the newer, later bikes. Now, the next way to increase power is simply by the head. You can get just the head done. like just get the head cut. You can take some off and you can run some avgas or C12 race gas, that kind of situation. So you can increase compression, but you will need to run good gas all the time if you're going to increase compression. You can also do cylinder porting, which is going to change the transfer ports, the timing of the engine. It's going to change that. And there's good guys out there that are real good with two strokes. Varner's still around. Tom Morgan does a lot of our work back in Minnesota. He does a really good job. So two strokes, those modifications are pretty simple. Pipe, silencer, head cut, porting. Not too expensive compared to four strokes to do some of that stuff. But most current two strokes, even like this 21-year-old bike, simply just getting the head cut a bit, good jetting, pipe silencer, these things rip. So, and a ton of fun. Okay, so that's a wrap on talking about the best mods for your buck. The biggest thing I want to get across is what I already said. This is assuming you are maintaining your bike well with good tires, clutch, all your maintenance items are well taken care of and your suspension's good. Then worry about modifying your bike if you need to. And again, there's not much wrong with most of the stock bikes nowadays. So hopefully that helps you out in deciding which way you want to go. And feel free to email us some questions if you have any on what to do on your bike.
onX Off-Road, know where to go with the #1 GPS app. Access 500,000 miles of trails and roads, open dates and public lands. The Elite version even shows landowners and property boundaries. Download the onX Off-Road app. To save 20%, use the discount code DBTV1.